अंग्रेज चले गए, सॉरी थैंक यू छोड़ गए. Saying sorry is one of the most difficult things for us to do. So many times we keep saying sorry, but it doesn't help. Specifically when it's with the ones we love the most. So many times we also realize it's not our mistake. Today, let's learn how to say sorry like you actually mean it. Let's apologize like we actually mean it. We all make mistakes. I mean, it's a fact, right? हम गलतियां करते हैं, आप गलतियां करते हैं, सब गलतियां करते हैं. How do you apologize? How do you say sorry the right way that it makes things right? So many times we say sorry, but people feel, I'm not going to forgive you. I'm very angry with you. If we hurt a friend, a family member, a relationship, or anybody, this video will teach you how to actually say sorry and have the change that you want to see. I'm going to share some tips, and this is not something that I've read somewhere. This is something that I have learned by practice in my own life. I have used it multiple times. Over the years, I have also been able to resolve. Hola, my name is Hitesh. Though I'm a past life regression therapist, what I'm going to share with you today is some secrets that I have taken from my own life. I'm 44 years of age today. I've been married for 18 years and I dated that same girl for 4 years before my marriage. And even in the earlier relationships, I live with women, my sister, my mother, my daughter, my wife's best friend, so many people. I'm only surrounded by them. So होता क्या है? Women tend to feel more bad than men. Let's accept that fact. Why does it work like that? Women are more emotional, whereas men are more practical. भी हमें भगवान ने ऐसा बनाया है, क्यों बनाया हम नहीं जानते. अगर हम हिस्ट्री को देखें, in the cave times, men needed to stand outside the cave and guard the cave. So they needed to be more practical. Women nurture children, and this is the gift that they have, it's a blessing that they have, which men don't have. So women invariably need to be more emotional. What happens in scenarios is when a woman is upset, it could be your mother, your wife, your sister, or any relationship. In fact, this secret can apply for any relationship. Women tend to be a little more upset than men. So how do you really say so? Right? How do you ensure that what you do, you own up to your mistake? Okay, now let's get away from the jokes. I mean, I can keep talking about how as a married man, I have dealt with this more than most people have, but I'm not going to get into those jokes. Having anybody upset with you for a time period little longer than a few minutes or a few hours can make you feel really sad. I mean, बहुत बुरा लगता है, मेरे साथ ही क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है, मुझे क्यों बुरा लग रहा है कि जब गलती मैंने करी, मैंने ओन अप भी कर दिया. कभी कभी गलती मैंने नहीं करी, कुछ मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गई है, yet I'm feeling bad. I have been there. What I'm about to tell you are 3 things, and these 3 things have been tested and tried with me over the years. I have told them to my friends, to my clients, to many people, and everybody has come back to me saying, Hitesh, तूने अच्छा बताया, it has worked for me. So ये कैसे करते हैं? What do you do? First step is regress. What is the meaning of regress? Regress means to go back to that moment in space. क्या हुआ था? Was there a fight? Was there an argument? Was there a misunderstanding? How do you do this? You can just sit down, phone side पे रख दो, nobody disturbs me. I can close my eyes or I can keep my eyes open. I want to revisit that moment. For example, it was my anniversary 2 weeks back and I did not buy flowers for my wife, or I did not do what my wife expected. So she was upset. So I have to go back to that moment, that what happened when I first interacted with her. In the morning I wished her, I greeted her, जो भी हुआ, she was upset. So उस moment को मैं slowly देखता हूँ. मैं रूम में चल के जा रहा हूँ, मेरी वाइफ को मैं ग्रीट कर रहा हूँ, but she's upset. And मैं सोच रहा हूँ. So in regression हम क्या करते हैं? हम वो मोमेंट को 2-3 बार अलग-अलग नजरिए से देखते हैं. For example, you can close your eyes or keep your eyes open. I will close my eyes and I will go back. What really happened? I walked into the room, I saw her, she was upset, I wished her. I could sense that there was something that was not right. When I go back, suddenly I start realizing that, oh, I actually was sensing already, but I wasn't understanding. What we are trying to do is when we relive the moment, we get different perspective. हमें अलग नजरिए मिलते हैं कि ये क्यों हुआ, कैसे हुआ. once we regress and we looked at that moment again, ऐसे पिक्चर देखते हैं ना हम लोग फ्लैशबैक में, जब we go back and see कि पास्ट में क्या हुआ था, that is what we are doing. Once you have done that, then you ask yourself कि मैंने कुछ गलत किया या मैंने कुछ गलत कहा, and you look at the words you used or the actions you did. If you've lied, if you've cheated, if you've hidden something, you start understanding कि what I actually did. What I actually did was A, B, C, or what I didn't do was A, B, and C. So now you've got two perspectives. You understood कि past में हुआ क्या था. Second, you have been able to see that what you were expected to do or what you did and what you did not do. After all of these things comes the most important aspect. Before that aspect, what you should do is you ask yourself, am I responsible for my actions? If the answer is no, believe me, that's the wrong answer. Each one of us are responsible for our own actions. If you do something that the other doesn't like, are you responsible or is the other responsible? In my way, as a therapist, I will tell you, you are responsible for your actions. The other person is responsible for the way they feel. But what's happening in this scenario? In this scenario, your actions are making you feel sad. You are feeling bad that the other person is hurt. Normally this only happens when the person who is hurt is someone we love or we care about. If I'm taking an Uber and the Uber driver is upset with me, I'm not going to care. But if someone, a friend of mine or a close acquaintance of mine is upset, then it's really going to bother me. So what I'm going to do is, once I've regressed, I've looked at what happened in the past. Step number 2, I've also understood what was expected from me, what I did not do, what I did do, and all of that. Now I put myself in the shoes of the other person. Because this person is a close person, you know this person. Is this person emotional? Is this person logical? Is this person someone who really expects these things? And when you put yourself in the shoes of that person, you start understanding that what is it that this person was going through at that point of time. How do you do that? You start by saying, I am responsible for my actions. After you say that, then you look at the other person's perspective. The other person is expecting a particular response or a particular statement or a particular action from you. Exactly, right? They're expecting you to behave in a certain way. For example, when I put myself in the shoes of my mother, I understand that my mother likes to be treated a particular way. She's upset because I haven't treated her that way. So I have gone back to that moment. I have seen that moment. I have seen what happened in that moment. Once I saw that moment, I also saw what was expected from me. As a step 2, I saw what was expected from me was to call my mother, talk to my mother, which I haven't done. Now I know that my mother is expecting my call, so I am responsible for it. Once I have done all these things, my approach to the way I apologize, the way I say sorry will change. Because I'm not going to say sorry anymore. What I'm going to understand is that the other person expected something out of me that I have not done. The other person expected me to behave in a certain way and I haven't behaved that way. So it's not about saying sorry, it's about changing my behavior. Then what I do, I don't really go and say, listen, I'm sorry, thank you so much. I actually change that behavior and I approach the person saying, I fully understand how you feel. I'm not saying sorry, nor am I asking for forgiveness. What I'm going to say is, I understand how you feel. I understand that this action of mine has upset you. What I commit to you is I will make the full effort to change that action. What most people say, अरे sorry अगली बार नहीं करूँगा यार, हो गई गलती यार, I'm sorry अगली बार नहीं करूँगा. That doesn't work. When you describe that I understand that incident, you were expecting so and I did so and so, the person starts understanding and realizing that you have understood what he or she was feeling. And then you close it all by saying, I take responsibility of my actions. Rather than saying sorry, say I take responsibility of my actions. I take responsibility of ensuring I change. Sometimes, if you find that the change is very difficult in your space, I was dealing with someone who smokes a lot, and every time he smoked, his wife would get upset. And then she would smell the smoke on him and they would fight. One time she decided to let him, she said, I'm going to leave you and walk. And he came to me and he did exactly what I'm telling you. What he realized when he went back and he told her that, listen, I also want to quit smoking, but I don't know how. Will you help me? A lot of times when you own up saying, I don't know how to change this, I don't know how to express love, I don't know why I forget to call you, or I don't know why I behave like this, but I want to change, will you help me? That goes a long way in the apology being accepted, because now you're taking responsibility for your actions, but you're also taking responsibility for ensuring that you become the change that the other person is expecting in their life. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope today you're going to take the action to mend one relationship of your space that hasn't worked for you. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, put your comments, your questions in below, and we'll get back to you. We'll answer them with more videos, and I'll ensure that we reply to each and every comment. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day ahead.